Okay, I'm going to show you really quick how to do your nails. So I have a solid color here, and then I have a glitter and a clear. This is just a little tiny one. And then base and top coat. This is Dipalicious. It's my favorite brand. Activator, fluffy brush, another fluffy brush that I'll show you how to do glitter with, a buffing block, and a toothpick. So I already did one dip on this pinky nail and then I had to start over. So we're just gonna go from here. So you wanna do a thin layer of the base and top coat. Don't get too much or else it'll get goopy. And don't go all the way to your cuticle with it. Just get close, but not quite all the way, okay? And then we're gonna take the powder, dip it in, tap off the excess as much as you can, and then use the fluffy brush. Oops, it's still kind of wet, so I'm gonna put it back in. Tap off the excess, and then brush it off. And then, as you can see, there's some around the edge, so that's where the toothpick comes into play. And you wanna kinda clean up the edges with the toothpick as best as you can. Okay, so there's 2 dips. Sorry, the heater's really loud. All right, now we're gonna do one more. Thin layer, don't go to the cuticle. You can kind of, don't go all the way to the side edges either, else it'll get too much. Tap, brush. Ooh, see, it's a little wet. I need to be careful. I'm gonna put it back in. You wanna try to soak up all the liquid if you can with the powder. And then just run your toothpick around the edges again. And go as slow as you need to. It's not a race. I know I'm going kind of fast right now. Okay, so I know it doesn't look perfect, but you can just leave it and we'll fix it up later. So now we're gonna do the same. I'm actually gonna do sparkle on this finger, so I'm gonna leave it for now. Okay, here we go. So I don't wanna go all the way to the cuticle. And then we're gonna dip, tap. Still a little wet, so I'm gonna put it back in. On this one, like, there's already powder by most of the cuticle, so I'm not even going over it a third time. Okay, that one I want to add just a little more to in the cuticle area. It's kind of a tough balance because you don't want to get it on your skin, but this color is called a Haute from Rebel. Oops, still wet. You don't want to brush it if it's wet because it will kind of tear the dip. Okay, oops. All right, so now take this. And this will be buffed later, so again, don't worry if it's not perfect. It'll all come out in the end. All right. Yeah, this is how bored I got today that I took the nails off this hand and decided to make this video. I've been watching that 100 Humans show. You want to do at least 3 dips on each nail or else it will break really easily. So 3 is kind of the magic number, it seems like. Boom, baby. All right, now for my thumb. So these tips I got on Amazon, and I really like them, but I got like the long ones, and I didn't realize you can buy, jeez, my cat just smashed her head into the table, good one. You can buy like short or medium length coffin tips, so if you're gonna do tips, I would recommend getting the size that you want, because these ones come like this long, and then I have to cut them down, and at that point they're not even a coffin shape anymore, so then I have to shape them even more, so lessons learned. But it's easier to dip over tips because you don't have the natural ridges of your nail to deal with when you're buffing, which I have found makes a big difference. If you do get pro base on your skin, just try to take it off before you dip, because it will stick. The powder will stick. Sorry, I realize this is at an angle. I hope it's still helpful. So, yeah, that's one reason I really like the tips, is because buffing on your natural nails can take a long time, and oops, I kind of missed it right there. Buffing on your natural nails can take a long time, and if you have the tips, you really don't have to worry about that, which is nice. Okay, so there's that. Now I'm gonna do champagne on this one, and glitter ombre on this one. So I will show you how to do that. This is actually the first time I've ever used this nude color, and I actually like it. I'm not the best at only using one color at a time, but I would recommend it, like especially if you're using a glitter, because contaminating your dips is really easy. So here is Chandelier. This is one of the new glitters from Revel's Glitter Fest. Working with chunky glitters can be a little intimidating, but I promise it's not too bad once you get the hang of it. So some people like to lay their finger flat in the dip like that rather than full on dipping. I haven't really found a way that I like best, I guess. But after you dip, you just want to kind of pat it down. Oh, come on. And if it's not working, you can always file them away later. Oh my gosh. So you want to make sure that you brush the chunky glitters off, because otherwise they will go into your pro base brush, and that's can be bad. Okay, so that's only one dip of that. That's like pretty good. I'm just gonna do one more for good measure. With chunky glitters, I would say only do like 2 dips because otherwise it will get really thick really fast. You can see now that I have glitter on my finger, so one way to avoid that is to actually grab a like Ziploc and just pat it. Put your finger in the Ziploc and pat it through the Ziploc. I don't know. Okay. I'm actually gonna, I don't know what I'm doing. Oh. Okay, so there's that. Now what I'm gonna do is grab the clear. Oh, not yet. I wanna do the ombre on this one. So this is actually pretty easy. Cover the whole thing. Oops, get your clear ready. And then grab some of this and I'll show you. Just kind of tap from above. Okay. And then dip it in the clear. The reason for the clear is because if you buff it without the clear, it like rips the glitter and then it makes it look weird, so you don't want to do that. I'm going to do the same thing on this finger with the clear. Just get it everywhere. And then dip into clear. Okay. I'm going to do it one more time just for good measure. Okay, and then I will brush that off. And then we're going to take activator. Oops, let me clean this up first. Okay, so you're going to take your activator and just soak your nails. This part is really important that you like really get it good because the activator is what hardens your dip. So don't be afraid to use lots of it. Okay. So that is gonna dry for a minute. And then we will buff. Gosh, this did not turn out as well as I wanted it to, but that's okay. I've never used this glitter before. And don't worry if it looks like this, like, sorry, I can't see what I'm doing. Don't worry if it's a little jagged around the edges because we're gonna clean that up anyway. So when that is dry, you are gonna, oops. I like to dip over a plate because then I can clean it up easily. So now you're gonna buff. And don't be afraid to buff a lot because you want to make it as smooth as possible. I ordered like a set of buffing blocks and files off of Amazon. It's like $6 and it works pretty well. So with that clear over top of the glitter, it's gonna come out looking just like we want it to. Okay, so there's the buffing. Now I get to do this monster. This one, you can tell, is not super smooth. I should have patted it down a little more. Okay. So after this, all you're gonna do is one more coat of activator, let it dry for another minute, then do, there we go, that looks a little better. Do a quick top coat. You don't need to worry about getting it perfect, you just want to do it really fast so it'll dry. Let that dry for a minute and then do like a perfecting top coat that's a little thicker and more precise, getting the sides and edges. You can buff and file as much as you want to get it looking how you want, so don't be afraid of that. All right, I'm gonna do my second coat of activator and my top coat, and I will show you a picture.